Shit. Okay. Welcome everybody. Hello, everybody from the chat. This is episode 6 of the Trials Talk podcast, where we exclusively talk about trial stuff and maybe shoot the shit on other type of material every once in a while, but mostly trials. I'm Doughnut 3000, aka Big Nutter, aka Josh. We got Lorcan, RJ, and our special guest, Vantier, today.
Yeah.
Been a community member for a long time. Vantier plays on PC.
Has a webcam.
Has a webcam.
Unheard of.
Is this our
Big
first
plus for
guest
that
with
one.
webcam?
No, Blubby had one.
Blub had one.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that was
Blub,
like
yeah.
1 frame per second with Blub, so that was interesting.
And he probably just stole that from the offices, so it wasn't even his.
Yeah. He was still in the office at like 3 a.m. I think is when we ended. So that was a good timing for him. Vantier, what do you think of Trials Rising so far? I mean, the main topic of this episode will obviously be Trials Rising, and to go over, all the nitpicky details. We're going to go over pretty much everything that we can possibly think of, and if anybody has anything to add in the chat, please do so. Please add in with it. But thoughts on it, Vantier?
My quick thoughts are, personally, I think it's the best Trials game so far. There's a lot of bugs that need to be patched for it to definitively be the best, I think. But
yeah, like the launch.
overall, cross-plat leaderboards, a bazillion tracks at launch.
Yeah.
Skill games are kind of trash, but editor, every object from every Trials game. Just all in all, I think it's the best Trials game. So that's my quick opinion.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm a big fan of Trials Rising so far. I was a bit skeptical at the beginning, honestly, with the beta. There was, I'm a big fan of front wheel. I don't know about everybody else, but I've always been a huge advocate of front wheel stuff. I was trying to build front wheel shenanigans. I didn't end up finishing that, unfortunately, on Trials Fusion. But it just feels odd in that aspect. However, it makes up for it in the climbing capabilities for this game is insane. Like I don't know. The wheels are just magnetic, and then let's not even talk about the Helium, how broken that bike is. But yeah, man. What are some of your plans for Rising, Vantier? You got any goals? You got any other future like tournaments that you wanna showcase or like try to make?
I'd like to. I don't really have any plans specifically for right now for tournaments and anything like what I did before. Just goals for Trials right now. I'm just still trying to clear all the really fun and engaging contracts and actually get to black belt and just move on to the Trials tracks. I just got done grinding the easies, moving on to the mediums.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grind.
What's been like your favorite track so far? Do you have a favorite at all? Like out of the 117 career or something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've only played through all of them like once, aside from the easies, and there's not really any super standout track for me, at least. They're all just pretty good.
Sweet. Next question for you. So this is more of like an overall like topic for Trials. When did you start playing Trials? Like when did you start really getting into the whole series?
I played HD back around when that came out. I think it was like an in-between game for me between like Halo 3 and Halo Reach or something like that. And that was just like a meme game. I think it was like me and some Halo people got tired of that game, so we just played the hill climb skill game on that. We didn't even play the rest of the game. We just played that skill game, and then I totally forgot about Trials. And then I eventually moved to PC, and that was right when Evo Gold was announced, and you could like pre-order it. So I pre-ordered it, and it couldn't run on my laptop at all. So again, I totally forgot about it again. And then like fast forward like 3 years, I get a gaming PC, And I'm looking through my library. I'm like, oh, this Trials game I never got to play. Let's load this up. And then ever since that day, here I am still playing this fucking game.
Yeah, it's quite the addiction, man. We've definitely hinted that, it's so hard. You're always chasing perfection, but like it's just not really a thing unless, you're getting, task-bot runs basically on, speedrun tracks. But that'll take some time for us to probably get to that point. What's like your favorite aspect so far in Trials Rising? What, like, compared, I mean, you haven't done much speedrunning.
The biggest feature for me is, I'd say cross-plat leaderboards is the most important thing.
Yeah.
For me personally. I mean, all the editor objects is cool. Customization is cool, but for me personally, I think cross-plat leaderboards is the biggest thing.
The customization, I wanna talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
My buddy, he made a Wario costume, and I added some bits and pieces to it. So I'm rocking Wario now. RJ's rocking the Waluigi. We should have like the entire Mushroom Kingdom playable, I think. First
Yeah,
week
the
of playing this game.
customizations are insane. Like,
better than I
you
expected.
can do anything, man. Yeah, they are. I mean, apart from obviously getting banned, like some of the creations getting banned, you can pretty much do anything.
Does anyone here know anyone that was like temporarily banned or anything?
Yeah, I know. Examples had a couple stuff, I think, that got banned.
It just takes it off of you, or what?
Yeah, on the chest for somebody. I saw a screenshot of a big old swastika. That's like literally the only thing bad
I think
I've seen.
Blubby said somebody had like dick wheels, and in a replay,
How do you mean, like stickers
tires,
on the wheels?
Yeah, and like in the replay, the tires were invisible, and that's because like if an item's banned on a replay, it doesn't show up or something.
Oh man!
So you can theoretically just have an invisible replay.
Yeah.
Oh man, what are some other characters that you guys want to either make yourself or see within the next like couple days on Rising? What's a must pick as like a character?
Carl Weezer.
Carl Weezer.
Anything from Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Sheen?
You need to be like SpongeBob, dude. You got to make a SpongeBob costume, I think, or like Squidward.
Be a
or
long,
Patrick.
skinny SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Be a really.
I wouldn't mind a dress. I think a dress needs to be in the game, like to put on the girl, and then you could have like a onesie, something that you could have like a full body of. Because like I wouldn't mind rocking like the Tangled girl or like something like a Frozen character or something like that. Or like you could make an anime character. I don't know.
Is there a way to get like an entire like the Green Man suit, like just an entire like spandex type of like suit on you?
Like onesie, yeah. I don't think there is.
That'd be really good too.
I've played a multiplayer bit, and I've seen some crazy outfits. I haven't.
Yeah.
Since people have been reporting like the bugs of your stuff disappearing, I haven't really bothered much with it, just because I don't want to waste time if it's just going to get removed. But
yeah,
I've definitely seen some pretty crazy stuff.
Speaking of the bugs, what has been going on with the leaderboards? What is going on with those? Like
ninja leaderboards or track
central? Ninja leaderboards are getting kind of
up.
and then ninja, like if it's a track central track and it's marked as a ninja, it's like you have to zero fault it, or else you're like not getting put on for some of them. It seems like.
Yeah, I know the issue with the career ninja tracks at least, which is quite simple and clean cut, which is essentially your score doesn't post if your time is more than 30 minutes, adding on 5 seconds for each fault.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say you get 100 faults, that's whatever time it is. I think it's like 8 minutes or something. And then you get 21 minutes or whatever, then, or you get 22, 23 minutes, then that tallies up to more than 30. So it doesn't like post. So that's the issue with that. But with the track central stuff, I have no idea, man. Honestly, that bug is super annoying because people have to now list it as extreme. And because of that, now you get the 30-minute bug, which I just explained. So people who struggle to pass the ninja tracks won't post a score. So it's like it's a lose-lose
vicious
situation
cycle
right now.
with that.
It's
Yeah.
weird that it is different for Track Central ninjas, because you would assume the Redlynx ninjas use the same editor settings.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure why it would be different.
yeah, I'm not sure either.
The editor itself has a lot of problems right now.
Yeah, it does.
What's wrong with the
Quite
editor right now, RJ? What have you noticed?
Well, I haven't built anything, so I haven't personally experienced any problems, but just like I know metals in the editor, there's a lot of issues like setting them, or I don't know if it's just different or if they're actually buggy, but I mean, I don't know. Someone else might know more in the chat.
Yeah.
How did I see?
I haven't messed around with it too much at all. I spent like 30 minutes like doing some crazy climbs, and that was pretty much it. I took a clip. Box climbs. It was just OP. Like you could pick like the largest like bridge piece on, or not the bridge, but like one of the metal plates that's like the longest. Yeah, I had a clip of a ridiculous box climb, so that's still a thing, most definitely.
Did you see Key's video of him just straight in that wall?
On the Mantis, legit.
Yeah, on the
On
Mantis.
the Mantis?
Brings
He
up.
climbs this wall that's like, God, it's got to be like 100 meters high or something. It's insane.
He just abuses the magnet of the front wheel, so he kicks
Yeah.
out with his front wheel from the wall and then just lets go of gas so it comes back in, and then gasses really hard so he'll go up like 10 meters and then he'll kick out again and just repeat
Yeah.
that until
Whoa.
he slows down enough. It's
Okay,
like
well that's a new
the
climbing
ultimate
technique
way to
then that
throttle.
we got to see.
He's
gotta-
really
we gotta see
nailed
that.
Yeah, it's
I want to see that on a Track Central track then. Now
No, you don't.
I need to see it.
No.
Yeah, it's not going to be the new meta.
You really don't want to see it.
This is the next level 8 obstacle right here. Just getting some insane 90-degree throttle climbs.
Yeah.
But see, speaking of throttle control, we should talk about the Helium. What needs to be done about this bike, if anything? Like, can we start a petition up saying to like nerf this bike at all, or what are we gonna do about this? Are we just not gonna have the Helium added in for like?
I
Ninja
think it's
track?
fine. I think it's cool to have a bit of variety. At least with Ninja Tracks, it's all your choice. No one's forced into using anything to compete anyway. You can select different bikes as a builder, so you can make people use a desired bike. And when it comes to the in-game ninjas, like the career ninjas, at the end of the day, both bikes are capable of doing the same thing. The only issue is like for some of the extreme speedruns where the Helium is faster, and I don't see an issue with that. I think it's quite cool. It adds variety, makes it a bit spicy. Yeah, I like it personally.
And there
I
have been
wanna see
cases in previous
converted.
games where the main bike wasn't the optimal bike for a couple tracks, so it's not that unheard of.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm imagining we're gonna be seeing a lot of more like inverted climbs. I think that we could get like slow climbs with the invert still for a Helium. I can definitely
Yeah, for sure.
see it. I think that might
Definitely
be
some cool stuff.
the spicier type of climbing track for the Helium.
Yeah.
Maiden brought up something. He was asking about the saves getting deleted. Has anybody had that already happen to them yet? Is that
I haven't.
that's
I know
I
Todd
sure hope
had it
that's not
happen
gonna
to
be a
him.
thing.
Yeah.
Todd already had that.
He said,
Wow.
yeah, he immediately he was like, PSA to all builders, make multiple backups for your tracks because they just delete.
Didn't
for
that
some
happen
reason.
in Fusion though? Also,
Yeah, but that
maybe not as common, but
I think, well, at least the difference that I saw is just one of his saves got deleted, while in Fusion, like all the tracks that you have got deleted, which that happened to me in Fusion, which kind of made me not build anymore. But hopefully that doesn't happen in this game. I haven't heard of it happening currently, so.
Could you imagine losing all of your progress and having to start the career over again?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
my.
would be-
sign me up.
You already have to
Contracts,
do it again with the
whoa, wowee.
contracts, dude.
The
The thing is, at
contracts.
least your medals and your times would still be on the leaderboard. So
If
Oh
I
my
lost my
God.
contracts, I'd be gone. See ya.
How many contracts are there in total?
425.
425. Yeah.
425.
Very
Do you guys want
creative
to talk
ones,
a
too.
little bit Do you want to talk about some of the contracts, or is that not as like
They
I
suck.
don't know important?
Yeah.
There's some ones,
they're not
man.
terrible,
it's kind
but-
of boring.
I mean,
The-
they're tedious, but some of them, like if you take them on an individual basis, can be quite cool. But yeah, as a in the context, they do kind of suck.
I think the problem, the reason, okay, it's a bit subjective, obviously, but the reason you know they suck is because most people actually think they're procedurally generated. And there should never be a time where you handcrafted, like custom-made content, people think it's procedurally generated. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
If it feels like it's random, then you fucked up.
Yeah.
Infinite trials with contracts.
That's what most people think. The
That's gonna be the
contracts just
new-
keep popping up.
Yeah.
That's the new Trials
yeah.
Royale feature. Gonna have contracts added on to each time that you play, and they're randomly generated.
Yeah.
Some people will be riding on the donkey. Some will have to have invisible bikes all at the
Yeah.
same time.
Also, like people are, compare. Obviously, it's very natural for people to compare games in the series. And looking at their track challenges on Fusion, people are quite disappointed with the contracts and how stale they are.
Yeah, they're not really replacements. They're
Yeah.
not at all.
But there are some of the achievements. If you look through the achievements list in the thing, there are some cool challenges. Like there's the dark track. There's completing that track with the snowman on your head. Getting some of the squirrels activates like different routes.
Mm-hmm.
Like little cool like skill games and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot to the game, but yeah, the contracts can be quite.
We were talking about that last time. I want to see a lot more skill games implemented into like actual levels. Is
Yeah.
something that I've really enjoyed in previous
Like
games.
the penguin tennis thing on Park and
Mhm.
Ride.
Mm-hmm. Have they ever made like a billiards game,
Ooh,
like a skill game? I think that would be really fun.
that would be
Someone
sweet.
made one on Track Central for sure. I remember
Yeah.
it.
Really? Oh wow.
Oh, we
That's
need
I
that
don't know if it
Tetris
was
skill
any
game.
good, but
A Tetris
Battle
one.
Royale
Cabbage
Pac-Man
Head did
too.
make one.
Cabbage
that'd be
There was
great.
that Call of Duty Zombies one as well. That was nuts, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that
Cabbage made that?
No, Cabbage didn't make that.
Oh.
But that one was insane. I just remember seeing that.
No, Cabbage isn't good enough to make something like that. Kappa?
Oh,
So I know this might be a little early to talk about, but like for like future DLC for Rising, is there any like specific locations that you guys really want to see? Like I was thinking about that honestly already, and I noticed that the southern hemisphere is like completely empty. There's
Yeah,
nothing in
dude.
Africa. There's nothing in
Yeah.
South America. There's nothing in Australia. Like it's
yeah. I'd
really
really like
baffling to
some
me.
like freaking safari tracks, like some African
Yeah.
safari tracks,
Yep.
or even like some Australian.
I want to see
like,
some South African tracks because that place is beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
Do the descriptions for the DLC give any hint as to where they're going to be? I don't know what's public and what's not public.
Well, 2 of them have been given away, and I think one is in South America, and then I
Sweet.
think one's the Wild West, and then I think one's South America, because they did show 2 of the previous DLCs.
I hope they'll show off for the South Africa or South America one. I think having like Chile, Argentina, like the really gorgeous mountain type of
Yeah.
environments, that'd be a really good look for it. I've always wanted to go there. Actually, I was thinking about going there for my trip, but we picked the UK anyways. But that was still a good one.
So yeah, the DLCs are 66, so an American one, and then Crash and Sunburn, which is a South American one, I believe. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we definitely need more America. Kappa.
And what, both DLCs, what did it say, together add 50 something? Or it gave a track number, right? For how many tracks are getting added?
Probably.
thought I saw 50 something. I wasn't sure if that was for one DLC or for both combined.
Yeah. I'm not sure. But yeah, that would be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if they made the DLCs quite hefty.
Do you guys think they'll add ninjas in the DLC?
I think so. I think
hope.
there's a high chance.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just
sure.
hope, but I mean, their previous DLCs have tended to be like one of every track, so like one skill game, one easy, medium, hard, and extreme. So I guess in this case it would be like maybe a skill game, then one of each, and a ninja.
Do you think they'll actually escalate the ninja difficulty even more?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I can't imagine it.
They don't
They
even have
better
people
bring-
to test that are that good.
They gotta bring RJ over to the office and test out some like Ninja 7 stuff.
Let's call it the RJ Burger DLC.
Yeah. The Wait, oh.
Yeah, we don't have
RJ's
a track
gonna
in
be the only
Minnesota.
person to beat it.
Yeah, the Minnesotan DLC.
Get some Canada.
An
going.
Atlantis theme. That's a good idea, Aaron. An
Well,
Atlantis theme.
underwater.
Have an underwater. Yeah, we've seen a lot of underwater tracks done on Trials
Yeah.
Fusion, and that I really like the look of that. One of my favorites being the more recent Harmonies track.
Oh yeah,
That
Pelagic.
50 CP. Yeah, that was like one of the all-time best on that game.
Yeah.
And this sunlight is killing me. Look how perfectly it's coming through my window right now. I'm gonna move up a little bit.
Man, a
Sorry.
Minnesotan DLC, that'd just be like lakes. You just, on each side of the driving line would just be a lake for each track.
Just be RJ fixing the roof of a church in the background, or ice fishing with his dad.
Literally. Horrid
So,
weather. That's what it would be.
So, what do you guys think of like the technique differences or similarities of Rising compared to the other titles? Like, would you compare Rising to Fusion more or to Evo more?
Neither.
You think it's just in its own
I
realm?
think Fusion and
Yeah.
Evo are like in their own category, and Rising is just totally separate.
Yeah, I can
Interesting.
go along with that.
Why do you think that?
Because I personally, I feel like the Fusion, even though at the time
Like the
people
physics
complained
for
a
it?
lot about how different the physics were when Fusion came out in the grand scheme of things, compared to this change, Fusion and Evo are basically the same game compared to this.
Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, in my opinion, so I tried the first time I played Evo was after I was like a top player in Fusion, and my skills transferred very well. Like I was instantly beating sixes and good enough to pass, and like low fault fours and fives and stuff. And I
To
felt
be fair,
comfortable.
though, RJ's already passed, or a lot of you guys have already passed Black Belt, which is a level 6. So
Yeah,
maybe the physics aren't so different after all. Who's to
But-
say?
the thing is, like, it was a lot harder of a transition. It
Mhm.
took, I mean, I personally, like I said this on my video, I had like 6 freaking timeouts. RJ had like 2 timeouts, fair enough. One was after he passed. I think GT4 had 3, Scott had like 3 or 4. So, all these top players timing out multiple times. Yeah, I mean, this game is obviously comparable, but yeah, the bike physics are just so different. It's
Yeah.
well, what do you think? What's better? What's worse in it, Lorcan?
what's better, what's worse. See, I
Magnets, boys.
giving my honest opinion, I tend to go with it's just different. But if I'm being honest, I think the Mantis is quite a bad bike. Like, it's just I haven't quite mastered how it works, and it just feels the center of mass is really off, and it reacts so odd. But then again, that's why I call it different, because just because it's different, it doesn't make it bad. But definitely, my main issue is front wheel grip, like front wheel inclines, and like grabbing onto the end of platforms with your front wheel is practically impossible. You just slide off stuff. It's quite hard to grip with the front wheel.
Yeah, and fapping is just way tougher. So like your bike will slide back. And
Yeah, then
it's just
fapping is
really
way tougher,
back heavy. It's just,
which I
it seems
spoke
really
about in
heavy.
my black belt video, and I said that actually makes it worse because
Definitely.
better fappers are rewarded now because of the fap being so hard. If you can fap good, you can scheme stuff, I guess.
Mhm.
But literally, apart from kind of things that are front wheel related, the bike is fine. And I don't think those things are game breaking, really. I mean, they're kind of meta breaking, but not game breaking.
Did you mention the back wheel slipping on walls, like visually?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it's entirely visual, and Blubby wasn't sure about this either because I thought it was entirely visual, but then today on there's that one track we were competing on, Lorcan. I forget what it was called. It was Kevin's track, but my back wheel was slipping on whatever obstacle, and I was like, this is actually like slipping. It's not just visual. I was like, maybe it's kind of both, but
it might be happening so fast that it's usually you can't feel it, but
yeah. I haven't really had it happen. I just find like with the throttle, if your bike goes past vertical in the clockwise way, then the back wheel starts to slip because like the hitbox is a bit weird. So if your engine starts to go like over it, then it just slips. So when you climb stuff, you have to stay vertical. Like you can't, because in Fusion and Evo, like your engine hitbox was quite lenient, so you could like go over stuff kind of.
It's a good way to put it.
How are the fender grabs in you guys' opinions? Is the fender grab more consistent? Is it dependent on the obstacle? It's kind of tough to say at this point. We got to mess around with it a little bit more. What do you think about the fenders, RJ?
The fenders are fantastic to me. They're like better. It's like they're good because of the magnet, which is like not good because I wish it wasn't like that. I mean, the fenders were fine in Fusion to me. They slipped when you wouldn't want them to, but if you learned how to like fender an object properly, it wouldn't slip. Yeah. So it's like I'm sure that could be the case here as well. But yeah,
I think you have to land on the fender a little bit better in this one. I think there's a tighter like hitbox that you need to do. Like if you're jumping straight into a fender, if you're landing and the bike is parallel with the platform, then it'll probably slip off really easy, or you just bounce off too because the back wheel is super bouncy.
I've never had my fender slipping. It's more bouncing, like it will just like straight bounce out. But as soon as your fender locks, then it's, you're in there. I've never had it slip.
Mm-hmm. I noticed when you're trying to do a fender climb, it feels way different. So in Trials Fusion, you'd usually, or at least I would tap the brake a tiny bit before I went into the climb.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like you don't even need to tap the brake at all. Like you just let your back wheel like touch the wall by itself, and then you could just throttle extremely slowly because of that grippage it's able to do on this game.
I tried to do a fender climb on Hook's meta track, like that back wheel fender climb, and for the life of me, I couldn't. I tried it. To be fair, I didn't try it much, but as soon as I tried to set up for that fender climb, my front wheel just swung straight into the ramp and I died. Mm-hmm. Fender climbs are solid for me. I struggle to get them down.
Let's see what other skills. Oh, I was trying like a sit-up, when your fender hangs off the edge and you have to like do a really subtle move to bring your back wheel back up. Like I noticed that was still pretty solid. I don't know if there's any differences with that. It still felt pretty familiar. I think with that move.
Sure. And RJ will agree with me on this, where like saving from the engine is way easier in this game. You can literally go into a Spider-Man from any position. It's insane.
Every single time. And in Fusion, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Man-ing itself is kind of more difficult, though.
Yeah.
Like, getting into the Spider-Man is easy, but getting out of it is kind of hard.
Yeah. Like, I think going really slow climbing everything and just going to the fender is like the safe strat.
For sure.
But I think it's more difficult to like pop up to your front tire because of how heavy it feels, like that the weight is distributed to the back end a little bit more in this bike, or with the Mantis at least. But Helium's fine. That doesn't have any issues.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can just hold forward and you don't need to fap, and it just brings itself up.
It's just 70% gravity on that bike, basically. That bike just floats. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, that reminded me, sorry. I saw people testing, I think RJ was testing the 86% mass of the rider.
Yeah.
Trying to get a Fusion feel. How did that go?
It felt like exactly like Fusion, like pretty much. There's like throttle was the difference. Basically, you could just box like anything for infinite height, like basically what Key does, but infinitely. So that would be like game breaking, but felt pretty good actually, to be honest.
I didn't mess around with that 86% at all. It's
Why
just
that number?
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
I
is it
know.
that? What's a conspiracy? Let's think of some
I
conspiracies.
think Cab
in the
might
chat
know.
real quick of what
Someone told me why.
86%.
Forget who. Or Maiden
I don't know.
told
Is that
me.
a thing? Is that a thing? Maybe if like somebody's gonna release a track and it's gonna be titled um, "Back to Fusion," and they're gonna
Yeah.
mess with the physics and just have it at 86%, so people.
We're
can,
about to see the ninja community splinter into a bunch of different percentages.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm an 86% writer. I'm a 97% writer.
140%.
For this reason,
Yeah,
this
let's
is
go
why I
grab
kind
it.
of like not a fan of the whole ninja bike thing.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I feel like it would just not it for me personally. Someone who's a kind of a player who
Hybrid.
does both speedrunning and ninjas. For me, especially speedrunning extremes, for me to then go to ninjas and use a whole different bike, I think that's kind of a lot to ask.
You think it's okay to have two ninja bikes in a given level, or do you want it to be like if you're uploading a Track Central track, then should we just have one or the other, or is it you think it's fine to have both of them there to have people test it out, see what's better?
Are you
I
talking
think
about like Manus and the rabbit?
And
Or
Yeah.
Helium,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's okay to have both personally.
Same.
To I don't know, see a lot more variety. I think it's cool to have that kind of variety, and I think in future DLC there's gonna be even I don't know. Like I still want the unicycle. I think it would be
Yeah,
still
that could be
a
jokes.
crazy
Probably can't do
gimmicky bike.
anything on it, lol.
Yeah.
Literally anything. Stationaries probably be pretty easy though.
Back wheel only tracks, easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish my front wheel wasn't there. I know
Yeah.
in Fusion, for real, be so nice. But then in Fusion, your physics would just get so messed up if you took off the front wheel. Like
Mm-hmm.
you just dip into the ground immediately. Like can't
Yeah,
lift
it's
yourself
weird,
up.
isn't it?
I wonder if that happens in this game. If
Like the
anyone's
bike
tried
gets
it.
heavier without something on it.
Yeah, you can make a track where like you'll lose the front tire, like at CP start, and it's not gonna make you fault, but I don't know. You'd have to definitely mess with the objects to make it actually doable to a feasible type of like back wheel only climb and see if the balance still is like not affected by it too much.
Hmm.
But what do you guys think about like front wheel back wheel tracks? What is going to be the future of front wheel back wheel? Do you think that we're gonna taper off? I think there's a lot more front wheel back wheel than climbing and technical tracks in Fusion. Would you guys agree with that?
Definitely than
majority?
technical. There's a
Yeah.
lot of climbing
Maybe not so
tracks in Fusion, but I mean, front wheel back wheel seems fine in this game, but at the highest level, I don't think it's very achievable. Because
Yeah.
I mean, vertical walls, which is like the highest level of back wheel, it's like they're pretty easy in this game, but at the same time they're like inconsistent because of the magnet. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Just get
say.
stuck.
Well, we just gotta give it some more time.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta
I
mess
think
with it.
I think that's what everyone should adopt right now. Like let's just let it do its thing for now. Track Central will kind of it will sort itself out. Builders will be builders, players will be players. And things will things will be good soon.
Do you think that there's gonna be any other new techniques that will surface like soon? I mean, it sounds like Key already kind of came up with a new climbing technique. That seems really interesting to be able to do it like that. But can we like are the physics going to enable us to do even crazier technical skills?
Maybe.
I mean,
I think since the leaning is like more varied and the throttle bands are more varied, I think maybe there's like more room for improving previous techniques, but maybe not a whole new one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only so many different ways you can lean left and right, I guess.
it's all just left and right. We already know that.
It's just a little flick of the stick, man. That's all it is. Going back to the DLC idea, so there was a really funny quote that Jugsy had. I'm sure that you guys heard this already. Adding the Pit Viper as DLC thoughts on would that even? I mean, it wouldn't be really the same bike because the engine's different.
I mean,
in this game,
as Blubby already says, the current bike is the Pit Viper. It's just different because the game is different. Like,
I don't think that's true though.
Yeah, that's definitely untrue.
I don't know what I can say, but I have heard things that would lead me to suggest that that is definitely not true.
You don't think they started with the Pit Viper and then they tweaked like little individual pieces?
Yeah. Obviously, I mean everything's just a tweak. I mean, if you want to be like that, you could say this is the same engine HD was on because it's all just gradual progression. But it's definitely not the same.
A dozen
bike.
years.
just have a weaker rider head.
I totally agree that the bike could have started as the Pit Viper, but as it is now, like the center of gravity is different, the front wheel suspension is different, even the back wheel suspension is different. So sure, the parameters of the bike may have been the same at the start, but they're definitely not the same now. So they're two different bikes. They're for sure two different bikes.
Maybe this will just be for people that are obsessed with the Pit Viper and just want the title of having it and to feel comfortable again. Who knows?
Maybe they actually started with the donkey and went from there. Maybe that's the problem.
So support Redlynx more.
From Frontier.
$10 for Pit Viper trademark.
I prefer the Phoenix. That's my opinion, though. The Phoenix is superior.
I don't think I had enough time on that one. That's all you.
It's just so light. It just feels so bouncy. I don't know.
You guys notice that people were hacking the leaderboards already? We already talked about that at all?
I don't know if they're intentional hacks or they're just accidental. I'm not sure.
I think I saw one that was, I'm pretty sure, he got to the end and then waited for a minute and then he crossed the finish line and his time changed to like 20 seconds. Like it definitely like accident. That was the only one. A lot of them I think might be just glitch, but that was definitely not accidental. Yeah, Ace was there.
Code.
I want to see some
section.
I want to see some more section tick, like, slow-mo effects going into tracks again. See if it's possible. Let's get some more taskbot running on trials. It'd be nuts. How about Track Central? Cool. What do you guys think of Track Central? The layout of it.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't UI. UI needs some work, but they won't change it. Lol.
Whoa.
I mean, that's a bleak feature right there. I hope they change something.
No, they won't. You already know.
Like, I don't know. Like, can you favorite like builders in this? I haven't even seen an option to favorite like your top builders for it. I know that you can make your own filters, so I did that. I made like my own top ninjas category. You do it by top rated ninjas, trials only, and then you can save like that loadout for it. That's kind of cool. I like that feature, but it's weird because like the main menu doesn't feel like the main menu. Like I constantly back out of it because I don't think I'm on the menu. It's like it's a weird, I don't know, like subconscious thing that I have going on with it.
I really like the main menu. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I don't know if you guys have tried it yet. I could be wrong, but I think they removed the feature with the percentage sign to search anywhere in the track.
Really?
I tried that the other day.
You can't even type a percentage sign, and they, for some reason, by default, it still searches left to right. So now you have to have the exact track name, unless they patch it, which is just... How do you fuck that up 3 games in a row?
I can't type S's because it just goes down.
I think all you have to do is click on the game window and it'll fix that. But I could be wrong.
I mean, I click on the search bar before I type. And then it's still I don't think I had that problem before. Either that or there's every track I searched did not have an S. So I can't say for certain, but I don't think I had that problem like a day ago. But today it's a problem. So fix it. Fix your game.
I tried typing in this track name. It was called like Toilet Trash or Toilet Trials or something like that. Somebody was asking me to type it in. I couldn't find it. I tried everything, and I can't find anything that people.
Yeah, Track Central is just really bad.
Unless just go through all the tracks, then it's just taking so much time to go through.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
How about let's see, lack of private multiplayer. How about that? Where is that? When is that coming?
Another
Anybody?
fuck up.
Any rumors?
I
Any rumors for it?
believe I heard someone say
Gonna get
late
banned off
April
the
is what I heard.
servers.
Yeah, I heard April,
April?
as well.
Okay,
They said it on stream, I believe.
for the official Redlynx.
Yeah, I think that's when the
They
first
tweeted
they
it'd
said
be
that's
April.
A patch or something.
Sweet. What'd you guys think of going for like the 24-hour stream? You guys catch a lot of the official Redlynx stream?
I didn't watch
No,
any of it.
Catching? I saw like bits and pieces of it. I saw Professor Fat Shady. I saw they were building. I think it was Shogun, and I forgot who else was building.
Blubby was on for like
Yeah.
2 hours.
Blub doing the ninjas.
I
saw
didn't
that.
see it, but I know he told me.
That was the first time I saw the ninjas, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, it was well done in general. It was a good time. I was popping in and out as I was, at work and stuff, but yeah. Anybody else do a 24-hour stream? I know Alien did one,
GT4.
GT4.
and
Did you actually do one, Doughnut? I thought I saw you had it set as 24 hours, but it like cut early or something.
Murder
No,
by
no, I
Sound.
did not.
Didn't happen. It's fake news.
I did not do a 24-hour stream. I'm not doing it.
I swear I saw it in your title. I
The
could be
first
wrong.
time I did it. So the first time I did my 24-hour. Oh, and Swell did as well. Awesome. No, the first time I did my 24-hour stream, that was when I reached 1,000 followers, and I was playing a bunch of different games, which was kind of nice. Honestly, not that many people watching, but
I watched.
I
donated $2.40 for 24.
I mostly streamed Trials though. I think I streamed it for about, I want to say 15 or 16 of those hours. Like it was, I had like a couple of sessions where I went for a really long time, and it was hard. Like, and all I was doing for that summer was basically playing games and like taking, I think I was doing like my senior capstone, but a 24-hour stream is so difficult. If you guys have never tried it, man, it is
just staying awake for 24 hours is kind of hard.
And then you're actually like trying
taking a
to
break.
entertain people, and like it's I can't imagine.
Dude, I took a break and I had to take a cold shower because I was like falling asleep during like a Battlefield session, like kind of nearing the 18 or 19 hours of the stream.
That's the worst.
Took a cold shower and came back and then finished it off with Trials. You guys ever think you'll do a 24-hour stream, Trials only?
Maybe.
No.
I could
you guys
see
want to
it.
put yourself
No, I don't see any reason.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a white room really quick and just go clinically insane.
I'd probably just like die on stream, but fuck it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people have died like doing, people have gone for 24 hours. I actually read a couple of stories. One guy had like a huge blood clot in his leg. He ended up dying. Like he took a break.
Deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah, went off stream and just didn't even come back. This happened like 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah,
and dark. I mean, a good time for a 24-hour stream would be if we did a Trials meetup. If a group of us met up, then we could just do like a 24-hour stream and have like rotations.
I am only 24-hour drive away from Donal 3000.
Donal.
I'm only a 24-hour
boat ride plus car combo. You're gonna have to have a jet that can turn into a car as well. That'd be sweet.
24-hour podcast, easy enough.
Yeah, we'd have to have a whole lot. We'd have to have the whole community hosting it. I think that'd be possible.
Yeah. Colorado
really
Flats in the chat just asked me to talk about what kind of tracks I would like to see builders releasing. I guess this is completely unrelated, but I've kind of given my opinion on this, which is I think early on in the game, I think builders should focus more on lower level, maybe technical stuff. Front wheel, back wheel's fine as long as it's done well. But I think for the meantime, like builders need to focus on more introductory tracks that are lower level and maybe have some nice effort into them. But the issue with that is the editor is completely broken and Track Central's broken, so you can't blame builders for just throwing tracks out.
What's going on with the background? I noticed on Track Central tracks, it looks like, I don't know, it's like phasing out in the background. You know what I'm talking about?
Like blurry.
It's like it's like the background is like completely gray at a certain distance.
Oh, I'm
Maybe
not
it's
on
your
console.
video settings.
Yeah,
Your
just, like,
console. Okay, that might be.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like clipping through mountains and stuff, and it looks really strange. Like there's like you're boxed in,
Could talk
Yeah.
about how console runs this game.
Oh yeah,
Josh, you would know.
the only
What's that?
console pleb here.
What about the console pleb life?
How it runs Trials Rising, like how tracks are like laggy, like UK up or whatever. I know has FPS issues.
I noticed. I didn't write them down specifically, but there were definitely some tracks. I think it was mostly the tourney, like the tournament, like having to play against all the ghosts. I think it was too much for the console for some reason, and it would actually
Loading
start laggy.
or
Like, no, like the frame rates would drop.
Hmm.
For stadium tracks for me was like a big one.
Weird.
I still haven't completed all of them yet because, Top Canine is OP as fuck in my opinion. He's absolutely destroying me. Top Canine's OP.
If you think he's OP, try racing Nova.
yeah, exactly. If it's broken, you have to beat number 1.
Yeah, that's another bug we didn't go over, but that one is seriously annoying. Like in my opinion, that needs to be paid attention to right now.
Fixed.
The fact
it's kind of funny that they fixed the finals, but they didn't fix the individual.
Yeah,
it's like someone didn't get the memo, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so frustrating, especially if you want to compete early on. It's impossible because you can't get score, and if you want to compete, then you have to. It's so insane, right? You have to, for every track, go offline, then enter the track, then go online, then complete the track, and then repeat that process for all the tracks. And it's like,
and you can't, if you're on PC, you can't do any of it on stream, otherwise it'll disconnect your stream.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I did it this morning, and I had to keep unplugging the Ethernet cable, and dude, it's so tedious.
Oh, you can just in your adapter just disable the adapter. You can do that way.
Oh, maybe I should do that then.
Yeah, it's going back basically to the same thing, but
yeah.
Going back to the console thing for me is that I have the original Xbox One still. Like, I think I got this one
pleb
like a month after it released, and yeah, this is a sturdy boy over here. I gotta tell you, this is probably one of the most reliable consoles I've ever had. However, it's not really. Yeah, it's just not running all the tracks like perfectly.
Yeah, man.
Really, really choppy at especially the beginning of I think there was a hard track as well that was very choppy.
Yeah, I heard examples. Like he says that UK upper is practically unplayable.
I don't remember that one.
For a speedrunner that cares about competing on tracks, if you can't actually play a freaking track because the frame rate's like minus 10 frames, then it's
you're going back in time as you're playing it. Yeah.
I don't know where this is on the topics, but speaking of speedrunners and competing, anyone have any opinions on ninjas giving score on global and potentially giving too much score?
Agreed.
Yeah, I heard that some people were getting very upset that, if you're getting, diamond times on speed runs, it doesn't necessarily transfer over to ninja skills as much. However, I think, I don't know, for me, I'm a huge ninja advocate. So for me personally, I think ninja skills will help transfer me over to speedrunning a lot more than speedrunning would transfer over to ninjas. But I've just spent so much time doing ninjas and getting the really detailed, finite, squishy slides stuff down.
I agree with that, but on the basis that the tracks that ninja player plays has time savers. So, for example, I think any Ninja 5 Plus player, even Ninja 4 player, could hop on a track that has these big time savers with bounces and slides, hit them, and get a decent run, right? But a speedrunner can't just hop on a Ninja 5 and pass it. Like, it just doesn't happen. And that's the only thing I see transferable. But apart from that, like, there's no way a pure Ninja player could compete at any level unless the track has these big time savers, like I said. Which makes Ninjas more transferable, which kind of, I don't know, I don't think it makes anything unfair. Like, in this scenario, Ninjas don't really, I mean, how much score do they account for? It's like nothing,
300.
right?
Well, the problem is that if you don't finish a Ninja, then you're missing huge amounts, whereas most people can beat every Trials track. So the discrepancy isn't as big. If like, most people aren't going to pass Black Belt, so most people are going to just flat out be missing 300,000 score.
Yeah. True. But the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, that...
I don't care personally. I just think speedrunners need to man the fuck up.
Yeah. And also,
I just thrown it out there.
Yeah, they also have their own leaderboard as well,
said.
which is Trials tracks.
I like that, Vantier. Hell yeah. No, I think this is it's maybe Redlynx is saying we want more versatile players, like to be at the top of the leaderboards. That's kind of what I'm getting at. That versatility, like, that's something that I've always been striving for. I've never really sat down and really tried to, like, speedrun for an extended amount of time. However, I think I do legitimately want to try out speedrunning in this game.
It's fun.
Except for some levels, except for UK Up or whatever the level is. So
yeah.
I'll save that for
360 or whatever the hell.
Yeah, whenever they update it or something for
Unhappy Camper. Yeah, let's talk about some of our favorite tracks, man. Unhappy Camper is... Oh, I love that one.
Seemed like everyone was big on Alcatraz for a bit.
Oh, Alcatraz is good, yeah.
What's the Unhappy Camper?
It's the one with all the, like, bombs. Like, it's very memey.
Oh,
yeah, it's got like a bunch of bombs you have to go through and stuff. Yeah, that one's cool. And Wingman as well. That one's really cool.
That's my favorite. I think I saw Maiden type that into the chat earlier.
That was the one in the beta, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think that was in the beta.
Or is Wingman the one with the boosts?
The Afterburner, yeah.
Oh, fuck that track.
Dude, I love that one.
What's the one where you're in the airplane? I thought that was Wingman.
Siberian Skies?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in the giant, the aircraft carrier, right? Or no, not the aircraft carrier.
Does anyone here foresee themselves actually remembering the names of all these tracks?
I know 2.
I know the track that I played last before and the one I'm playing right now.
Yeah, we should come back for the next podcast and, like, have all of them written out and then quiz our guest on, like, how many of the
trivia show
they know. Yeah, see how many they know.
Okay, here's a question: does this track exist? And then just name like random.
We can just make up the goofiest name. Yes.
Take screenshots of random sections of the tracks. Name this track.
That'd be so hard.
How about favorite extreme track for you guys so far?
I played them all like once, basically.
Yeah, I've just played them once.
For initial thoughts, RJ, what was your favorite out of?
I can literally think of one name of the extremes, and that's Inferno 5. So I guess I have to pick Inferno 5 because I don't know the names.
Klondike, Inferno 5, Sewer Rat, the one Benji sped ran.
I always call one of them
Construction. Is that it?
One of them's called Klondike. I always think Klondike Bar.
Yeah,
that's one of them.
Desolate Dome, Car Park Club.
That's a terrible.
And Hong Kong.
Corky Construction? Did someone say that?
Yeah.
Wait, what the hell is Baikonur Base?
Oh, Baikonur Base, yeah.
Baikonur Base.
That one has a hefty overhang in that. Oh, is that the one with the bombs where you have to go under the bombs?
I thought that was a hard track for some reason.
Yeah, so... They really seem to be pushing the boat out with these career tracks and, like, these techniques. Like, that one with ducking under the bombs, and then having afterburners in main game tracks, and tracks like Unhappy Camper going in between bombs and stuff. I think they're really, like,
They probably realized that with 120 tracks that they actually need to be creative, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, people would get bored.
It kind of leads me into something I want to ask you guys, because I know quite a few people have been complaining about the number of physics objects in the tracks. What do you guys think of that?
I mean, from what I've played, I haven't sped around any like bad track that has bad physics objects. Like I've heard seesaws on whatever that one track is, or is like a bad idea. But
Yeah,
I mean, they seem relatively consistent, to be honest. So
The only
Not for
one
me,
that's
I
kind of
suck at
pissed
'em.
me off so far is Venice Beach 360. That's the first one with the bouncy little time saver
yeah.
thing.
oh, the
That's-
lights, yeah.
that's one of
Yeah.
the 2 tracks I actually knew.
That was the
talking
only one
about.
so far that's kind of annoyed me.
Yeah. Oh, they
What's
also
been
had
the
the
toughest?
handlebar, the bars on Venice 1080. That's something we haven't seen in a career track before.
That was interesting. I like that idea. That's
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen handlebars done in Fusion, but like nothing to that extent where you'd have to flip around like
Yeah.
completely to get over the bomb. I really like that idea. I think
Same.
that could turn into some really crazy ninja techniques.
For
That might
sure.
be a new way to go about handlebars and monkey bar techniques as well.
Yeah.
But
I
was
think
gonna
we see
ask.
some more afterburners in ninjas. Sorry, go on.
No, that's fine. I was thinking of like what's been the hardest grind for like a level for you guys thus far, like for a diamond medal. What's been really tough?
One man's trash.
Man's
We've spent
trash.
like 10 hours trying to speed run that track, and I'm like 0.03 off diamond.
Oh my
And Nova
gosh.
played it for like 5 minutes and got diamond. So that was sick.
Yikes.
Love that dude.
It's a madman.
Bot.
A bot tier run. That's a top K9 run right there.
For real. Man, just
What
does
were you
like
gonna say though
14
about
flips.
afterburners though, Lorcan? You want to see more afterburn?
Yeah, I just think the fact that they were used in a career track maybe means they might be used more in track central ninjas. I personally am a fan of the afterburner. I think it's quite a creative way. It requires insane bike control. Actually, it's harder than people think. It's not just a freaking speed boost that you
Yeah.
luck through. It actually requires a lot of skill.
Which I don't
So
have.
yeah, I think it's quite nice.
It's too hard.
If Slick's in the chat, are we gonna see a Broken Flame 2?
Broken Flame.
Another Broken
Inquisitor
Flame
2
track?
Plop?
An entire afterburner heavy track. I want to see a track that has the power bike enabled on certain pieces. I think that would be a real way to go about.
You're talking
Like,
crazy now,
Yeah,
boy.
It's kind of a different.
You're
it's
getting
kind
a
of a
little
different
wild.
afterburner.
Like
I wanna
power
make a
bike
power
into
bike.
a bounce.
I want to make a power bike ninja exclusive power bike track.
That's like saying you want like a rodeo bounce in tracks.
Yeah,
It's
what
just
the-
complete RNG to set up. Like, no, you don't.
I haven't tried the rodeo yet.
Good.
I still have to play that one.
Keep
Dude,
it that
before
way.
we start the stream, Vantier, what did you get on Rodeo? Like 42 seconds or something?
49. I've been
That's
playing it this
insane,
entire
bro.
stream and I haven't beaten it, so I think I'm just gonna leave it there.
What
I mean,
bike do you
that's
play
insane.
on for rodeo?
I was on the Manus. I see a
Okay.
lot of people on the Helium, but it's literally it's just you pull the slot machine enough, eventually you'll fucking win. So
Yeah.
it's whatever. Use whatever
Yeah.
bike you want.
Sorry, I haven't played this rodeo game. How RNG heavy is this? What is this
Yeah.
again?
100%.
Yeah, it's you just stand on a box and it spins randomly, and then you just that's the end.
What?
That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Does it get any harder? Like, does it, or is it just like the
No.
same the whole time?
It might like have a slightly higher chance of getting more erratic later on, but it's still you can still have nothing happen, or it can spin 10,000 times in one direction and kill you. So
Yeah. In my
Yes.
run, I have like 37 seconds, and I swear 20 of those seconds it didn't move. It was just static.
it was just steaming at you.
Yeah.
What's been the best skill game so far? We've been shitting on these skill games so long. What's the best skill game?
Loose screws not bad, but it's kind of annoying when you restart. That's the one where it's just like you're wheeling the whole time, just staying on your back wheel only. And
Has anyone reached the end of that one?
no one's even that close. I don't think currently.
Oh, okay.
Or actually, Alan maybe got close.
Do you have to get the diamond, or do you have to beat it to get the diamond?
No, you have to get like 400 meters, I think, something like
okay.
that, and it's like 600
Yeah.
meters, something like
Yeah, I haven't
that.
tried
Which isn't that bad. 400 meters isn't too bad for like
Yeah,
ninja players.
I That track only annoys me because when you restart the track, it'll give you a preview of the first like 10 meters for like 4 seconds, and then it has the 3-second countdown.
Rookie mistake for the builders.
Yeah.
It's really easily avoidable.
Trigger auto.
That's why I don't play it. Otherwise, I'd grind it more, probably.
Dude, Out of Control, I quite like that one as well. Scott was shitting on it earlier, but I think it's kind of fun.
Which one is that? Is that the one with the bombs?
The ski.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking...
Why did they
I don't see why the
skis
skis are necessary.
Yeah, I know. Like, why did they add that? It's not.
Well, it used to be something before. Like, and it's just like a leftover from that. I don't know if I'm able to say what, but it's. I don't know why they didn't take it out. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
They just like the aesthetic of
yeah,
ski
the
pools
aesthetic on the skill games are super nice. Like on Flaming Man, like that route is really nice to look into the background. But then you have Hill Climb where it's just a barren wasteland. That skill game is the most boring skill game. I'm sorry. It might take insane skill to beat it, but aesthetically, I want to die. Also, riding on it is also very
it's
bad.
It's just a spiral. It's like a spiral and just nothing really going on.
Yeah,
other than
just
that.
jumping
Just
from box
obstacles,
to box, from wooden ramp to wooden ramp. It's quite annoying.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking a little bit more about how about Professor Fat Shady and the tutorials and stuff. You guys, how I think it's a really good introduction for players to like understand the ins and outs of like how to pull off these techniques. And yet again, it's making me think about, and I think RJ, were you talking about trying to make like more detailed tutorials on like the ninja tracks? Even
definitely gonna be doing that.
I'd really like to see that. And
I'm already helping a lot of people with blue belt CP4.
Yeah,
no one seems to know how to do that.
Guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Come on, guys.
Has anyone's flow improved since playing the UOT?
Dude, definitely.
Sick flow now?
Yeah, very sick. My hair is, it's hanging down. I got some flow.
Got a nice salad going.
Improved your flapping skills?
Oh,
dude, I swear.
Why do they call it that? Why do they call it that? Don't they?
I have no idea.
I guess, okay. It's
PC culture.
fapping.
Yeah, but they
Fapping
could have
is
went
like
with. They could have came up
PG-13.
with something else.
Fapping.
I mean, at least they tried to
term.
keep it close. I mean, they could have been like called it the steez, like fucking with the fender grab. Like, why is that a thing?
Wait, what? What's that?
Okay,
Is that a joke?
So Captain Sparkles, like he plays trials like all the time.
Yeah.
He, for some reason, I don't know how this came about, but he decided to call the fender grab the steez because he didn't know what it was called, and so now all of his viewers like call it that. And apparently, someone made a petition for it, renamed the fender grab to the steez.
The steez is apparently it's like style
with
when
ease.
you're on
Style with ease, yeah.
Style with ease, yeah.
Originated by
so it kind of
rappers
makes
back
sense,
in
the
80s.
name, but like, just call it what it is. Come on, no?
Yeah.
Easy enough. It's a
let's
fender
talk about
grab.
the
It's a
actual
fap.
physical piece of the bike, grabbing onto it.
Yeah,
makes a little more sense. But yeah, going back to the tutorials and stuff, you guys check out. So Professor Fat Shady was also doing in-depth tutorials for the extreme tracks. I think there was a couple that it came out, and I love the type of like format that he's doing for it. He's like slowing it down. He's pausing certain aspects.
Oh,
and,
really? I haven't watched one yet, but I remember his
and,
old tutorials, and they were good. But like, if he's doing that now, that's some next level.
I think this looks like this is professional, man.
Is it just him, or
caliber.
does he have anyone helping him?
I think it's just him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just been him. I would like to see a face cam associated with it. And RJ, I like what you were doing on like the past couple of videos where you're just talking, you have the webcam on.
I think I might do that.
Yeah, that's a good way to do commentaries and stuff to like actually see it real time
while
you're talking about the track. But I think doing tutorials on stream would be awesome.
Yeah.
As well, but it wouldn't be as in depth, and you wouldn't be able to do like the whole slow motion and pausing effects nearly as much.
Yeah.
You can't even go slow motion in the replay.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to bring up too. What happened to that?
How did they
everything,
one direction?
Where did it go? What?
Downgrade.
Legit. We thought the replays
well.
couldn't get any worse from Fusion, and they have. Like, come on now. What are you
I think
doing?
they threw it out when they threw away the main menu leaderboards button too.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It was a package deal.
Yeah, when you're in a track and you can't check the leaderboards, like,
Yeah.
why?
Dude.
I got so frustrated at that too.
Because I'm playing one man's trash with Ben Guckoid, and I want to play against his ghost, so I have to exit the track and then go to the leaderboard and then find his name and then play against him. It's like,
Yeah.
that's so tedious, especially when I forget and I load up the track already and then I have to exit it and then.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to backtrack a bit, but I want to comment on what Black Sheep said, which is the tutorials are incomplete because they miss techniques needed to beat ninja tracks or hard extremes. Whilst I think like that is kind of true, I think like ninja tracks have always been community driven, and in order to learn those techniques, I think it's kind of good that Redlynx left that alone, because
I agree.
like ninja, in order to learn ninja abilities, you have to dive into the community like fully.
You have to suffer yourself.
Yeah. Like
I don't even know how you would design a
I
like
think ours are
training
fine.
program for like CP4 of Blue
Yeah.
Belt. Like, what would that even look like?
Yeah.
Some nutty squishy you have to do, like full speed.
Yeah, but you basically just have to do the checkpoint.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Exactly. So yeah, the answer to that is the community will help you. Your boy RJ will hook us up.
Easy enough.
Sweet. What would you like want to walk through? You know, start off with white belt, or do you want to start like? I mean, you could probably have a pretty good breakdown of like blue and green belt already, right?
Oh yeah.
The zeros on it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd start with white though, for sure.
Yeah. Would you recommend people using a helium bike?
I mean, if all you're trying to do is pass and you can't do it with the mantis and you just can't be asked, then yeah, fuck it, dude. But otherwise,
Fuck it. Use a helium.
Would your
Otherwise-
tutorials be like safe strats or?
I'd
Like, you
try.
just try
It'd be
to-
the most consistent. Well, I'd say I'd probably give like two sides. I'd be like, this is the most consistent way to do it, and this is maybe the easiest way to do it. So if you're just going for a pass,
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, I find with that, like, I've never been a fan of individual track tutorials. Whilst I think they're great in helping people to pass tracks, they don't really teach you about like the bike unless you
Yeah.
go super in depth. So I'm more of a fan of like learning the techniques required to pass instead of just. Well, I don't know how you can do it, obviously, but in Fat Shady's tutorials, he just goes like, what you want to do is left, right here, and then right here again, instead of saying, well, this left, right absorbs the momentum,
yeah,
and then
that's
you
what I
right
would
again,
say.
and yeah, this is what I think is helpful.
I'd say
A lot of
why
left
it
rights.
works, because if you don't understand why it works, then it's not. It's actually harder to mimic it. Like if you actually
Yeah.
understand like what should happen, and then you're actually striving for that motion, and you understand why that motion would get you through an obstacle, it makes it easier.
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
think that's like having? So we don't really have that many tracks on Track Central yet, but do you think eventually, we'll have a bunch on Rising, and then would it be better to have like say like a in-depth squishy tutorial and have a bunch of different techniques from other tracks kind of culminated into one video, like all about the squishy technique? Would that be a better idea? Like maybe work on one individual skill at a time? Work on stationaries, all these different types of stationaries that you can do, you know, culminated
Yeah.
into one video.
That would
Yeah.
be a good way to
Would
do
be
it.
interesting too.
I mean, Kamzaka, he has this video on Evo where he basically just built this track and then he shows his pass of it. And it's just like, not every ninja technique, but most of them. And yeah, he just kind of runs you through what they're called, what they're used for, and how to do them, essentially.
It's a
So I
good
think
idea.
something like that could be good for this game.
Mm-hmm. But it's about the more like detailed, I guess, I don't know, the method of going about certain CPs, like the getting down, you know, fender climbs for the first time felt really weird, and getting
Yeah.
squishes down, and still, you know, stationaries are a lot, maybe not a lot different, but they definitely have a different feel to this
They
game.
do, yeah.
And it's so important when you're progressing through ninja tracks to work on one specific technique for, like, a pretty extensive amount of time before you move on to other stuff. Like, you really got to nail it down. Like, you're in the batting cage and you're working on hitting the ball, away. You're trying to hit it to the opposite side of the field from you, and you have to work on that, you know, hundred of thousands, hundreds of thousands
Yeah.
of times even throughout your life to be able to perfect, like, how you see the ball coming in at a certain angle,
Yeah.
how you see the bike, like, transitioning through CPs. Like,
Yeah.
I try to relate a lot of stuff back to, like, how I used to practice, for baseball and being in the batting cage quite a bit. And
Yeah.
Hit the ball, bro.
and yeah, just hit the ball, man. Just hit it over the fence. That's all you need to do. Just go for the home run swing.
Yeah.
But
Just
at a
so you know,
but then at a certain point, you're getting pitchers, you're getting ninja tracks that are, throwing you, 100-mile-an-hour fastballs that you
Yeah.
can't really make contact with, and you got to work on the more finite details of
some of them
getting
are throwing
the
bombs
most,
at you. They're not even throwing baseballs.
getting the most, getting the most efficient path through the level or hitting the ball the most efficient way.
Mm. Yeah,
I try to relate it back to that stuff.
I think a lot of it can come down to like previous experiences as well. It like playtime can benefit you a lot. You can learn things quickly, but like having a lot of playtime allows you to recognize when to use them. For example, the tuck fender, or like, well, yeah, that's kind of best example. That tuck fendering is something that you only see high level players use because like we know when it's useful.
Yeah.
And like lower level players, although they know how to do a tuck fender, you just lean back before you grab the fender. It's like they never use it because they don't know when they could have like saved the fender if they had just tucked. And so yeah, it's stuff like that. When you just kind of through a lot of playtime, you learn when to execute certain things.
Yeah, comes with a lot of practice.
For sure.
I mean, we've had a lot of playtime on the trial series in general.
Yeah.
And for all the new players that are in, the chat, we have a culmination, like all of us, of at least 2 years or of playing,
Yeah.
through all these insane ninja tracks and speed running and building and stuff like that. But you gotta progress at your own rate. You just gotta find the time. It's about
Yeah.
getting a lot of playtime as well.
I think
and I
there
know
are quite a lot of 100-day gang people out there. I think maybe RJ is, and I definitely am.
I'm definitely over that
sure.
now, but
Yeah,
I'd say for sure. I wish I
100-day
knew my
gang.
time, actually. If I go back to Xbox Fusion,
You play
I could
actually
tell.
tracks it now, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I seen it when I launched the game today, actually. It shows it at the top. I don't know if you have to enable it, but it's there.
It's good, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So now we'll see who the real no lives are.
I already have like 60 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I could check, actually, how much I have, to be
Dude,
honest.
you're talking to the number 14 Hall of Fame right here.
The better
So
leaderboard.
with the differences in Rising, you guys, what do you think about? Let's go over like the ninja rating system like really quickly, because I don't think we could really go too in depth with it quite yet. But just thoughts on like how are we gonna go about rating like ninjas? Like, are we gonna look at bottle heavy like climb tracks like a little more rigorously? Like we have to, I don't know, because it's way easier. It seems like I think it's definitely easier to climb in this game. So we're gonna have to go through different hoops maybe to sort out the ninja levels for stuff. But
I don't know, like my opinion on that is, whilst it might be easier to control your throttle, it's definitely not, like it definitely requires the same amount of effort to grip walls, and like that technique hasn't changed. You can't just like glue to walls. But fair enough, you may be able to climb taller walls, but like the techniques required are still very similar. And I personally don't think ninja levels will change very much at all. I'm kind of that opinion right now. I think they're very comparable to Fusion. Maybe it'll be different. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I really want to see like an in-depth like list. I don't know if anybody's created this before.
I planned on doing something like that.
But yeah, making a list, like a really defined ninja rating system where, you're going through, say, a ninja level 1 climb track, and you talk about, okay, well, this wall is like a certain height, like, and you have to go up it at a certain angle.
Get your protractor out.
And yeah, we're gonna have to go through like a really in-depth, I don't want to turn it into like, turn it into a math session or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make it like in depth without, turning it into statistics, which I don't really want.
Yeah, I don't think ninjas are about that. I think, I mean, I'm not saying you suggested this, but if you kind of restrict ninja levels to requiring certain techniques, then you kind of, maybe it's not bad, maybe it's not a bad thing, but I don't know. Yeah,
it's too close-minded.
who knows?
I think.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it's
already
too
kind of
close-minded.
restricted. Just like
Yeah.
the unspoken rule is that a level 1 isn't going to have a squishing area or something.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a level 1 squishy.
Yeah.
Like level 1 front wheel back wheel tracks weren't really that prominent of a thing because that's, I think, it was usually a tougher skill, but like you could have, a level 1 front wheel back wheel where it would have to be literally
You're
like
just wheeling.
one piece is doing a
Yeah.
wheelie, or like one piece is doing like a front wheel, like one front wheel bounce. That'd probably count as like a level 1 possibly if you added in climbing stuff with, but it's really tough to really pin down a rating system. And this is something that's been brought up to me a lot, and there's got to be a better way. Like, think about it. Not only just playing the game enough times to like really understand it, but like having newer players kind of understand what is the outline of a ninja level 2 front wheel back wheel. What kind of obstacles do you typically see? Like on average, it's like kind of what I'm going with.
I think it could be useful to. I mean, no one's going to do it, but it could be useful to rate tracks based on where they would be put in place if you were to put them in with the like in-game ninjas. Like if you do white belt, that you can pass this track.
Yeah.
Green belt, so on. Like
We
where
always
do
like to compare,
baselines almost?
Yeah,
it's
they're
really
like
good to
the
compare.
official baselines, basically.
The only issue is that black belt is a gazillion times harder than every track before it.
True.
But yeah, that doesn't really. I still think it's a good idea.
So we haven't really talked too much about the editor, other than that it feels pretty broken. Is anybody going to be trying it out soon, or are you guys going to wait for maybe, I don't know, is there going to be any patch anytime soon? Blub, can we get a shout out for the editor possibly? Because I mean I tried it out a little bit, and I think it was okay trying to find all the objects and stuff, and I was having a good time just like, making a driving line, not doing any decoration. But it is weird that, going back that background issue where it's like, a gray wall is like clipping through the mountain background still.
As Vantier said earlier on, like every object being in the game is one of the best features, and
scaling.
Scaling, of course.
Those two combined is like insane.
Dude, yeah. I don't think Redlynx could ever mess up the editor, because as long as you keep it the same, it will be like really good, because the editor has always been one of the best things that Trials has to offer.
It is the best thing.
Yeah,
honestly.
for sure.
His has been crashing a lot. It's really strange.
It crashed just now.
Console?
Like, literally.
Does anyone know if the editor issues are like a console PC specific thing, or
I don't know. I don't know who's building on PC.
Zach is PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've heard him say he has any issues.
Yeah, Zach's been loving it. He's I believe he's making an Ascension 2. I think Ascension 2 is in the works. That was the word. The bird said the word of Ascension 2.
Everyone's
Zach,
favorite.
Can you confirm in the chat for me, please? Ascension 2 is almost finished? Or is it something else in the works?
No, have you not seen the screenshot from Twitter?
No, I did not.
He sent a screenshot, like a preview. Oh,
we did?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Looks like he's making a whole game.
Yeah, it does.
Hook said, I mean, I don't like the fact when testing your track, if you pause, you can't just press B to continue riding. I don't remember that when I was testing, but that's dumb.
Same.
If that's the case.
Wait, what? What is it?
So I mean, when testing your track, if you pause, you can't just press B to continue riding. Maybe you have to press
like
resume game or something.
Oh, okay.
Instead of just backing
That's
out.
really odd. Yeah, that's odd.
There's also the talking about like buttons and stuff and like double functioning buttons. Dude, when you're in the main menu and you accidentally press R1 and then it takes you to the freaking customizations, that kind of frustrating.
If it would tell you what buttons bring you there too, it doesn't even tell you.
Moogie, we don't know if slow-mo replay is coming back. That's what we really want to see again. Like, I think that would be really helpful, like especially on stream. If you want to go through like tutorials and like walking through a specific section would be awesome.
Watching how somebody did something.
And for myself, just seeing slow-mo is...
Dude, I use that feature all the time on speedrunning tracks. Like, the top speedrunners will left, right in half a fucking second, and you can't catch that on the inputs at normal speed. You have to slow it down.
What I started doing when I was streaming is I would just clip a replay and then watch it back in slow-mo.
Yeah, that works.
That was a good idea, man.
I slowed down GT4's YouTube video on Black Belt to see how he does certain stuff as well.
Do we miss any key topics, you guys? I think it's almost time to wrap it up. Any other big things that you have for us, Vantier? Any dying questions you have?
Yeah, any questions you wish we would have asked you that you would like to answer?
No, not really. Anyone have any opinions on the difficulty of the diamond medals? I don't think we talked about that at all.
I'm glad they're very difficult, most of them. Honestly, they could be more difficult as far as I'm concerned. But also, I'm not a speedrunner. I just like naturally can like do certain things speedrunning wise, but like more than an average player would because I'm such a high level ninja. And I can get diamonds with a grind, and I like that it's a struggle for me. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think I should be able to just get diamonds like cake.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Zero luscious though, RJ. What are you talking about? You can do anything in this world.
I can though too. Like just a grind. That's all it takes.
Yeah, Rudy is saying like the inconsistency is the biggest problem, which I guess is fair enough. Like some diamonds,
it's really hard though. If you're making the diamonds, like. Be really hard to make one, and it's all depends on like the player too. Some players are going to be better at certain tracks.
Exactly. I mean, there are just outright inconsistencies, but the thing is, like, when you get to the level of getting diamonds, I think you're smart enough to just kind of accept that some things are more difficult than others. Like, I don't think someone could accidentally get an easy diamond and go, oh, now I can get them all. Like, that's not gonna...
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think the inconsistency is an issue. If anything, it's kind of okay because, some people can get some diamonds and be happy, and then, yeah.
I think I'll have an easier time going for diamonds on extreme tracks than literally everything else.
Oh, yeah,
you
for
think
sure.
that?
Except Inferno.
Dude, you'd think
Except
that.
Inferno, maybe, yeah. That, I don't know. Would you guys even consider Inferno in extreme? Like, that track is hard. Like, that, it almost feels like a level 1.
So it's harder than White Belt.
Yeah.
Well, that might just because it's longer. I don't know if any individual checkpoint is harder.
I don't remember Inferno at all.
I only played it once.
Yeah,
so.
same.
Yeah, it seemed it's pretty tough for the extreme. I don't know. It seems like every single installment for Fusion, Inferno gets harder and harder, but I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's gotten tougher.
Basically what Cabbage said, there's no way you can consistently rate over 100 tracks. It's an unfair expectation for Blubby and PS3.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, diamonds for me are not going to be a thing for a while. I just want to go through platinum. I think everything first is going to be my first step, and that should be probably a good goal to start with for A lot of other like non-speed running types. I think platinums are they're pretty solid to go for still.
We have Rudy in Meteor Rain. Sorry, Rudy says we haven't seen a straight up wall in Extreme, referring to the last wall in Inferno 5. But there are a couple walls in Meteor Rain, and especially in this game with throttle being OP, you can just full gas up that. Like,
yeah,
it's
walls
easy.
don't mean much anymore.
Yeah.
Basically just like flat ground, but sideways.
Yeah.
Anything else from the chat? Oh, Larzi was asking about the Mantis Viper. We said that, I mean, they're kind of in their own realm, basically, Larzi. That the Mantis, I believe, has better climbing capabilities. It makes up for the lack of like front wheel type of bounciness and control that you could have with the Pit Viper. But yeah, they're to each their own. Like they have their own kind of feel to them. And I think the acceleration is pretty crazy on the Mantis. That bike can get going like pretty
Very
quick.
quick. If you mess
Very
up
quick
on a
bike.
speed run and you just like try and save it by just gassing, like it saves a lot more time than it would in like Fusion. If you mess up in Fusion, you're kind of done. I feel like,
also,
but in this game, not so much.
If you pull back,
On a lower
your
level.
front wheel flies up. Like,
yeah,
that bike pulls back super quick.
Yeah.
just because your rider in this game is lighter than in Fusion, so it's quicker.
Absolutely, man. Well, I am thrilled to finally have Trials Rising here, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
This has been an awesome first week for the community, for me, for everybody. Like we've had so many new fresh faces. I really appreciate everybody coming by for all these streams when everybody's streaming and just supporting each other, because this game is a grind. This game, it's still hard. It's still going to be one of the hardest out there. We keep pushing the limits for what's possible, and I can't wait to see what people are going to be able to make on Track Central.
So we can all agree the game is dead and we're all going back to Fusion.
Yeah,
definitely.
Easy enough.
I'm gonna keep making my front wheel shenanigans.
Ninjas are dead. Track Central's dead. It's all bad.
Editor's dead. Replay's dead.
Yep.
Yes.
Trash game.
Fix
All
your
right,
game.
let's end it on that note.
Yeah. First
Awesome.
Rising podcast done.
All right, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Peace out and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
Bye, dudes.
Peace out.